All right, so we are beginning our Destiny Discover PD session, and we have a couple of professionals on the line. This is meant to be an informal walkthrough and an informal conversation. So if you weren't able to make it to the session, you can watch us recording. All right, so our game plan for today, we were going to go through staff logins. I was going to give an overview of what Destiny Discover is, or the possibilities that we can use Destiny Discover for. We'll go over basic features, and a lot of that is what was contained within the little screencast that I did and sent out in the newsletter. We'll just go over curbside book procedures real quick. Also, I just did a screencast of how to check out free ebooks and audiobooks through the public library. So I might just walk everyone through that real quick so we can all help our students, and then that recording's available. So a couple of links here in the slides, and this is also available on the SMORE newsletter. So let's just dive right in. So we're trying to get books into the hands of kids. We started the year out with a Google form, so we're going to null and void that Google form and just take Destiny Discover requests. It's just cleaner and easier for our students. If anybody in the district requests a title by 11 a.m., we can have that book pulled by that afternoon. So we're saying our pickup time is like 2 to 3, but really the books are just sitting on a cart in the main office at the middle school and high school, ready whenever. You can also, we want to let students and parents know they can just call our library as well. And so for the middle school and high school, that would be calling the main office, and then they'll transfer the phone call to the library staff. So you can do a request that way. And just so everybody across the district knows, at the elementary school, we have these bi-weekly materials distribution pickups. So like our next one is this Thursday, since we don't have school Friday. So we are trying, like an elementary parent could swing by any time to pick up a book, but the primary means of distributing them we're just, as soon as we get a request, Julia is fulfilling the request and then putting it in the kids' packets that's gonna go home during that materials distribution. So what we wanted to do today was, we just went over our game plan. So how about, Hillary, do you have a login for Destiny? You have an account? Okay, so how about if we all kind of walk through, since we both have dual monitors, you can open up Destiny Discover on your other monitor and kind of follow along, and then that'll help you teach the kids. So I do like teaching everyone to find our library, and I just created a page on our school district website. And to get to the library page, you just click on menu and then library media services. And I do have a lot of work to do on this page, but I got the basics, our library catalog, our Gale databases, which I'm going to walk all the English teachers through, and then OSLIS. So you can click right here to get into Destiny Discover. And on this page, you are going to select your school. So I'm going to pretend to be in the middle school. And then to log in, Hillary, do you remember your username and password?
Yeah, I think it's first name dot last name.
Yeah.
And it's Siuslaw 97J.
Yeah, you would have set your password. Andreas would have set your password.
Yeah.
And I can open a second tab and pop in there, I think, and reset it if you need me to. You let me know if you can get in, or if you're...
Okay, I'll give it a try. Yep, so I'm in.
Yay, good. All right, so what I want to show everyone first is I'm going to do just a basic search for the topic World War II, because we have a lot of students who are interested in Holocaust narratives and World War II books, and all of that. So Destiny Discover, oh, I gotta log in here as well. Destiny Discover is how we search for the books, but it's so much more. So when I do a search, just a general keyword search for World War II, you're going to get all of these things. So you will get a list of books available in your library that we have. You can click over on collections, and a collection is a digital hub or list of resources that we can create, plus there are public collections out there, and my internet is slow, so it's not loading my collections right now. But that's what a collection is. Oh yes, there are. So I think it's just being slow. Destiny Discover will also pull some pretty cool databases, and I know sometimes educators are especially in the midst of distance learning, where you may have too many resources, so I get that, but it's just good to point out that you can find additional resources about topics in Destiny Discover. I actually thought that this TED Talk playlist was pretty cool, like why we need to stop obsessing over World War II, and you've got a TED Talk. I try to listen to these things when I need a little pick-me-up in my day. I'll listen to a TED Talk. So in addition to looking for books, collections, databases, then we also have curated open educational resources. And so this is going to be a plethora of different things, but you're going to find some websites, some lesson plans, activities. We were there, letters from the battlefront. So again, some teachers are in the midst of overwhelm, like too much stuff. Oh, and that one is defunct. But some people are looking for additional resources, so they are available in Destiny Discover. And I foresee when I'm collaborating and partnering with teachers, especially the English department, for research projects, I mean, I will be curating a collection for each teacher that I work with that can live in Destiny, and we can revisit it every single year. So I'm just seeing that being super useful. And please chime in with any comments or questions as we're going. So that's kind of a general overview. To just simply search for books, which is kind of where we're at with our students, they log into Destiny Discover, and then this is what they see. And you may have watched the little demo video that I did. But look, Hope, we have a place where we can put maybe our s'more newsletter right up top, or announcements. We have so many options and features that we haven't even touched on yet. But I do love the recently added books. Genres, searching by genre, that's the #1 question I get when a student walks into the library. They'll say like, Miss McKenzie, I don't know what to read. And the first thing I will say, what is your favorite genre of books, or what kind of movies do you like to read? And then I'll take them to that section. And we are in the midst of genrefying our high school library right now. So Andreas genrefied the middle school library and saw a significant increase in book checkouts, because it's just easier to find the books. And we're working on genrefying the high school library right now as well. And then the elementary is kind of a little genrefied. But anyway, this is a super cool feature. Popular titles will be listed down here. And then we're curating collections as we go. So here is the Oregon Battle of the Books collection. This is what a collection of books looks like. And teachers can do these for their own classes too. Like if you're doing a unit of study, you can build your collection of books. So I popped in all of the titles that our middle school library had for Battle of the Books. And then a student, if they're interested in reading a title, they can click on one of them. And then on the student view, they will have a hold button right here. So they'll be able to tell if the book is in. They can read a blurb about it, and in one click of a button, they can place it on hold. And then, like I said, we will have those books ready by that afternoon. We're keeping our eyes on our Destiny as requests come in, and we're pulling them and getting them ready as fast as we can. Let's see, what else do I want to say about collections? So I'm popping into Kelly Dotson's classes tomorrow to do a quick little 10-minute library intro mini lesson. And I was able to, you can pop any of these collections over to your Google Classroom with ease. So there's a little Google Classroom button. And I would then, you know, choose a class that I want to send this collection to. I'm going to say, I just want it to be an announcement. And then you know, you do your little blurb, and then that'll post straight onto your Google Classroom. So that's always like a nice feature when we can get the thing straight into Google Classroom. And then that's what it looks like. And then the kiddos can open that collection straight from your Google Classroom. So that, I think that's a really cool feature in terms of getting, when we want to direct kids to a certain chunk of books. So I'm thinking of like lit circles, or you know, whatever your unit of study is. Hope, you were curating a collection for Mr. Johnson, I believe.
Correct, for honors for the freshman honors English class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could pop all those, or he can do it, but until we teach teachers how, you could pop all those in and send him the link, and he can pop that straight on his Google Classroom. And then kids can literally check out the books straight from the link through Google Classroom. Okay. Let's see, we were also going to searching and holding. Okay, so let's just go over like how a student would search for a book. I mean, they can obviously skim. When we click on a genre, it is just going to bring us up results for mystery 200 plus books. So it's bringing up most books in the middle school library that are mystery books. So there's that. You have all of these filters down the left-hand page. So I didn't get into the filtering in my demo, but you can get very specific. I love the genre filters in Destiny Discover. So I'm already searching by mystery, but check this out. Like, let's see. You will discover you have genres you did not even know existed in your library. And they're pulling all of these genres from the MARC records that we put into Destiny Discover. Missing persons, mistaken identity, mystery, and detective. So it's like I'm in mystery, and it's breaking it down even further for me, which is pretty cool. Let's see. You know, all of the subject headings are really cool. Abandoned children. If you're really interested in mystery fiction about abandoned children, there you go. We can also, I know it's pretty important to filter by reading level. So we are a reading level district. I'm coming from a Lexile district, so I'm still, my brain is caught in Lexile land. But if you wanted your students to you know, filter by a specific reading level, they can set the parameters there. Okay, and all these other, ooh, the series filter. That one is super cool because half the time I do not know all the books that go in a series, so we can filter by that. So do we have any questions right now about searching and filtering? Okay, it looks like we're good there. So then we already walked through it, but for a student to place a hold, they simply open the title once they've done their search. And there's an advanced search feature up here too. Okay, and a lot of these filters are these filters down the side. So once a student finds their title, they simply open it. They have a green hold button here, and they click hold, and then they get a little pop-up that says your book will be available soon, or something like that. Yes. And we already talked about curbside pickup procedures. What are your questions about Destiny Discover in general right now? Before we hop over, and I'd like to just run through library accessing the eBooks and audiobooks real quick. Questions, concerns, ideas, things that you maybe thought of that could be useful for the English departments?
I don't have any questions yet. I'm just excited we have, have this. And I'm so excited, Jen, that you're going through all this information for me so that I can figure out how best to share it with my students. And, you know, obviously the students in elementary school will get used to it now, and then they'll be experts by the time they get to middle school and high school. But it looks really cool. And I just love the fact that it has the preview of the book and the picture and everything. So it's really clear and laid out, and all the different search features too are great.
Yeah, I was talking to one of our principals and they were like, it's like shopping. It's like our students shop for a book. I'm like, yeah, anything we can do to get a book in someone's hand. If shopping makes it fun, if shopping makes reading fun, then here we go. It's a pretty clean interface. Like it's just super user friendly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to pop over and just for the sake of this recording, go through the public library and accessing the ebooks and audiobooks. And I did do a separate screencast. And I will be making all these videos and screencasts available on our website soon. So I was getting several questions about how to access ebooks and audiobooks. So here we go. I'm on the public library website, and you have to have your library card number and PIN. If you don't have a library card, you can click right here and apply, and they will get back to you right away with they'll just email you your card number and your PIN. And if you have any problems with that, you can just call them. Okay, so once you have your card and PIN, there are many ways you can get there. I think this is the easiest. So I just go to online library. And if you want to follow along with me, you sure can. And then, where did I go? I went online library. And I think it's just online magazines and more. There's probably a faster way. Yeah, well, here we go. So these are all of the resources available. So magazines, consumer reports, world food, ancestry.com, auto repair source, like all these cool things. And you scroll, and Gale databases, and I will get into Gale databases probably next month. But scroll all the way down to library to go. There's got to be a faster way to get there, but that's how we're getting there right now. And then from here, you do need to log in, and I think I'm already logged in. Okay, so once you are logged in, it's kind of well, it looks like Destiny Discover, but you have access to get right into the book. So they do have curated collections. Again, it's kind of like shopping, so shopping for a book, award-winning titles. They have all of the high school Battle of the Books titles. So I was thinking of you, Hope, if you're missing any in your library, we can point people to the public libraries. And then I didn't know if our English departments knew this. We have always available audiobooks and always available ebooks. Those are multi-user, multi-access books. So if an English teacher was looking for a title to have the entire class read or listen to, if everyone has their library card, everyone can go in and check out the always availables. I know that when we hit pandemic break last year, that was the very first resource that I introduced our junior and senior English teachers to. Were all of these, because they were like, oh my gosh, AP tests are around the corner. We still have all this work to do. All the books are locked up in the school building. How are we going to access the books? And so we just utilized our public library's resources. Do you have any questions about the always available titles? Okay. let me just show you what it looks like to check out a book. Just like with Destiny Discover placing holds, if you find a book that you want, you click on it, and then you're going to click borrow, borrow, and it'll give you the option to listen now in your browser or download it. So you have those options, and then let's see, let me go back and do a book as well. So those are audiobooks. Next, I'm going to check out, let's go to one of the Battle of the Books titles. Those are all, here's an ebook. Borrow, borrow. Okay, ooh, you can actually read this one on your Kindle as well, that's cool. So I just checked out a couple of books to figure out which books you have in your name. This is your little bookshelf right here. And then it'll show me my checkouts. And you can have up to six checkouts, digital stuff through the public library. In addition to those 6 checkouts, I'm pretty sure you can also have however many checkouts of physical books. So that's pretty cool. If you haven't looked at an ebook or an audiobook before, this is what they look like. You're just paging through. Just like with a Kindle, you can jump to chapters, you can bookmark things, you can actually like take notes, like highlight and take notes on this stuff. And then an audiobook, I'm sure both of you are familiar with audiobooks, but this is what an audiobook looks like when you open it.
Blackstone Audio presents.
And same thing, you can bookmark, you can hop to chapters. You can change the speed of sound. Usually when I'm reading young adult fiction, I listen to it at like a 2.75 speed because I'm just trying to absorb information quickly so I can recommend the books to students. Yeah. And then to return the books, you just return them here. And eventually, hopefully, maybe by next year, our students will have school district access to ebooks and audiobooks through SORA. That's kind of the national standard, is SORA/Overdrive. They're really expensive and we need to buy into a consortium. All right, and then there's more, you can navigate the rest of your account, your public library to go account there. What are your questions right now about ebooks and audiobooks through the public library?
Sort of an obvious question probably, but students can get their online library cards on their own?
I want to say that there's an age limit, and if they are, I think it's 16. If they're under 16, I think they just have to have their parents fill it out for them, or they can call the reference desk and navigate that. But I did talk to our public librarians, and I was just saying, like, we don't want that age restriction to be a restriction or a barricade. So yes. You can fill out in the parent's name or have the parent or guardian call the library, and we'll get them a card. Yeah,
Cool.
A good question. All right. You know, to access the regular card catalog, I'm probably doing this in a very clunky manner. There we go, search the library catalog. I did just pick up my first, curbside book last week. And, oh, there it is right there. And the search looks a little funky to me, but this is how you do search for books, like physical books from our public library. So I could search for stuff by Louise Erdrich. She's my favorite author. And okay, we're going to search both. And enter. Okay, there we go. And Okay, let's say I wanted to read this little anthology. There it is. And to actually request that online book, you can't click on something to my knowledge right here. You have to do it this way, where you go to this link. So they're doing it through a Google form, just like we started. And you just go through and complete the form. And it won't let me go all the way through without filling it in. But yep. And then they actually have all the books just sitting outside the building under their little awning. So I just, you know, drove over on my lunch break and hopped out of my car and pulled the book off the shelf. So we'll, you know what, we'll have a PD session where we invite our public librarians on the line with us. That would be really good, because I know there are a ton of resources that I don't even know about yet. All right, I'm looking at the time. We've gone about a half an hour. I feel like we've covered material. What are your questions right now? Or are there any comments or things you want to say for the sake of the listening audience in terms of accessing resources for our kiddos?
I just wanted to note that on the public library page, you can search their catalog without entering your library card number. So if a student didn't have a number yet, but they were kind of in a hurry, they wanted to know if that history book is at the public library, they could search without entering their number first, and then decide, you know, make their decision of if they need to go through the process to get a card.
Thank you for that. And it also brings up the fact that we will interlibrary loan amongst our school district buildings. And then whenever we are working with students and we can't find a title that exists in our building, we'll pop over to the public library and see if it's there for students. So thanks for bringing that up. Okay, well, I think we'll end our PD session. And thank you all for attending. Let me stop sharing my screen. There we go. And our next session is going to be, I'm looking at my calendar real quick. We're trying to offer one of these a week, and I just will repeat sessions as frequently as we need to. So we are going to, our next one is, I can barely read my schedule. Oh, we're going to do an accelerated reader workshop on Tuesday the 20th, same time, same bat channel. So we would love to have you join us then as an English department head, Hillary. That would be amazing. Okay. Well, that does it for now. I'm going to stop our recording.